Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to the lovely surroundings of this great hall here for the 2013 MacDermott Lecture. It's always a great pleasure to welcome you for this landmark each year in our academic calendar. The MacDermott Lecture is very, very highly regarded by the wider community, by our academic community, and by the students, and it's good to see representatives from all of those different communities here this evening. Of course, a very special welcome to Lord and Lady Kerr. It's an enormous privilege, and it's with great thanks, Brian, that we say thank you for coming this evening to deliver the MacDermott Lecture. It's also a great pleasure to welcome once again the Lord Chief Justice, Sir Declan, and Lady Morgan, just coming into the room. Perfect timing. You'll be pleased to know you were referred to as immortal beloved just a few moments ago. Adrian, welcome this evening. It's lovely to have you with us. And to Sir John and Lady MacDermott and your family, thank you very much indeed for your presence this evening, and thank you for your ongoing support of this tremendous lecture series. By way of introduction, I thought that I would just pick up on an aspect of Lord Kerr's life that is very important for Queen's. Brian is an alumnus of Queen's, and he's probably our greatest ambassador. Of course, he's in a very privileged position. He's a very eloquent person, and every time he gets up to speak and introduces himself as the only justice that had the good fortune to be educated at Queen's, we bask in his reflected glory, and he's yet to work out the way in which he should start charging us a fee for the promotion that he gives us. But of course, both Brian and Gillian are distinguished alumni of the law school here at Queen's. And I have to say it's an enormous pleasure to welcome you back in that capacity today. Brian's career has of course been an illustrious one, and we've been delighted at Queen's to be able to celebrate some of those achievements by conferring an honorary degree on Brian, and also last year him receiving the Graduate of the Year Award, which is a very special achievement and recognition by the Queen's community for a graduate of this university who has made such a difference to society. I think, though, what I did want to do was to take this opportunity to thank Brian for his ongoing commitment to his alma mater, because despite his enormously hectic schedule, he continues to support the School of Law and the Institute of Professional Legal Studies here at Queen's in many and various ways, thus ensuring that Brian is not just giving back to his alma mater, but he's actually inspiring the next generation of legal minds. And it's so important that our ablest and most distinguished alumni do just that. So to Brian and to many other alumni in this room tonight, thank you for what you give back to the university, what you give back to your alma mater, because we need that support. That support of a university takes many and different forms nowadays. So just to conclude my comments in regard to how alumni and friends can support this university and the vital support that's needed for this university, I've started to use a phrase that's very much coined in the States, and I wish I could find a better word, and some of you might be able to help me this evening. But that is the way in which you can help this university advance. So it is the word advancement. It takes many different forms, and we've seen it be developed in the last few years here at Queen's. We've seen the enormous contribution that our alumni are making to the current student experience, and there's no better person that can testify to that than the current president of the Students' Union, and it's good to see him here this evening. But in many ways, our alumni are getting together we've got a City Leaders programme in London offering scholarships to students to come and study in both legal and financial services sectors in London. That's now been expanded to New York, and that makes a tremendous difference to the experience of the students here at Queen's and the opportunities that unfold to them for their future careers. Our alumni can contribute enormously to the staff experience here at Queen's, and tonight is just one example of that. The other one that I'd like to mention is the way in which our alumni have been instrumental in some of the recruitment of staff, either back to Queen's or to Queen's from elsewhere around the world. In many cases, it's better that it's our alumni that approach potential members of staff rather than a direct approach from the university. Excuse me. So you can help us in that way. And then also, without wishing to whet your appetite too much this evening because it's at its early stage, but we are hoping that we will be redeveloping behind the current Lynn Library, in other words, around where the old library stack is and the Peter Froggatt Centre, a new landmark building for Queen's that will be a fitting building for law. Plans are only in the earlier stages, but there are many different hoops that we have to get through before that becomes a reality. And we'll be looking to work with the legal community and the legal minds of Northern Ireland and those who have benefited from the school and from IPLS to help us shape that new opportunity for the future. So I hope that provides a way by which we can now move forward with the 2013 MacDermott Lecture and welcome Brian Kerr to deliver it. And to introduce both the lecture and Lord Kerr, I'm going to hand over to the head of our School of Law, Professor Sally Wheeler. Sally, over to you.